Welcome to the Body Beat. I'm your host, Sid Biffle. In today's auto body news, German auto supplier Bosch said on May 5th that it plans to add about 1,000 employees in North America this year as its automotive business continues to grow. The auto supplier expects to employ about 23,000 in North America by the end of the year. Great news if you live in Mexico. Mercedes-Benz announced that it's opening its first Mercedes-Benz Driving Academy in LA in October 2011, offering a fully integrated driver's education program and school that incorporates online, classroom, and behind-the-wheel training for Los Angeles area teens. Some of the classes include proper driving etiquette during a drive-by and how to drive stoned. Not kidding. C-Car is proud to recognize 2 New York shops as its newest members of the GreenLink Shop program and their commitment to best practices in environmental and safety processes. C-Car requires that repair facilities seeking the GreenLink recognition must maintain high standards of excellence in environmental and health and safety practices, which include substituting toilet paper for green leaves. That's gotta feel good. In August 2011, Ocean plans to adopt the Global Harmonization System for classifying and labeling chemicals, which will substantially change the existing OSHA HAZCOM standards. Under the rule, employers will need to learn the new chemical classification criteria, replace chemical labels, use new safety data sheets instead of existing MSDSs, and train all employees in the new hazard communication system. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plug-in electric vehicles may just be entering the market, but most U.S. consumers are ready to buy them. eSource recently analyzed data from the Nielsen Energy Survey and found that 85% of U.S. consumers say they would purchase a battery-driven car either right away, when their current gas hog needs replacement, or when the technology is proven. In other words, we can't afford gas, nor the hybrids. And that's your auto body news. I'm Bit Biffle.
Holy shit. I didn't know Americans mowed lawns anymore. Next is prepping the bumper for paint. A real easy job. First I'll start off with this rock chip right here. I left this because it's on a body line, and in order to feather it out I'd lose a little bit of that body line. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a razor blade and jam in some plastic filler, bumper filler, and then sand it out. For right here, the area where I did body work, I'm going to guide coat just that area and sand it with a hard block with 320, as well as this area. They're the only 2 areas that I used filler in. And I'm going to blend out my sand scratch, and then I'll respray the guide coat, and then I'll sand everything wet with 600, including this. Everything. The whole thing with 600 because the whole thing's getting painted. Just jam in my filler. Hit the area with the rock chip. And hit it with a hard block of 220, knock it down. Then 320 with a soft block. And finally, wet sand the rest out. You notice I'm sanding like this. Don't dig into the body line. Go like this, and then I'm going to go like that. And last, I'll go over the body line. That'll keep the body line nice. And real light over the body line. Now when you have a look at it, as you can see, with the hard block, I kind of trued up the area where I did the filler. As you can see, I didn't hit this. So now what I'll do is I'll just respray guide coat and hit it all with 600. I did the same thing over here where I did body work. The guide coat's missing right about here, but it, you know, there's a little pepper spray right here. and right here. So now I'm going to respray everything with guide coat and wet sand everything. When I wet sand, I'm adamant about a few things. Number one, I like sticking my paper into the water to soften up. Two, I like to throw dishwash soap in there. You don't want to use car wash soap because car wash soap has wax in it. So I stick it in there, and then I start putting my water in there, and then it'll bubble up. And that lubricates the paper so it'll slide over the substrate.
Prepare for the boom, bam, oh man, slam, damn, we like Tarzan.
When you're wet sanding, you want to have your block cocked at an angle, because if you sand straight like this paper could crease and you'll get a deep scratch. So you want to keep it cocked a little bit, like that. You never want to sand it straight. Always cocked. We're getting ignorant up in here, yo.
Go again, looking for your face, and I realized that I should look for someone else, but you were the one, you were the one. I'm looking for comfort that I can take from someone else.
Foreman aperture tape. Basically why I put the bag away from the paint, because you can get paint that lands on here, and when you clear, it'll flake off and end up on your paint job. This happens a lot with sealer, so I try to keep the paper bag away. This is where I'm going to blend the clear, so I'm going to scuff it lightly right here for the overspray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my fan right about here, and then I'm going to put my clear blender in. I'm going to fan this way, right here, like that, and then the cutoff line will be right here, and it'll be nice. See, if I fan it this way, a lot of the overspray will be over here, but if I go like that, it'll burn in right here, and I can buff all this out, buff that out too, which will be really easy, the mini buffer. The reason why I put the bumper back here is because the air in the booth is going to come in from over there and it escapes this way, which brings all the contaminants out, which makes this the safest place for this to be, where it won't get any trash in it.
Now, I really should be greasing and waxing this with gloves on, but I don't have any, and the paint store is closed, and I gotta get this done. So, I'm gonna try to do it without getting my hands on it.
Going to be using De Beers barrel base. This is your standard formula for the paint code. This paint is 1-to-1, which means 1 part base, 1 part reducer. That would mean for the paint cups, I go here 1-to-1. Fill it in the first line, probably at number 1 or 2, and then go to the next line at 1 or 2. That's a 1-to-1. And I'm going to spray it out of this SRI Pro gun that has DeVilbiss D-cups. When I'm done spraying the base, take this cup out and toss it. Throw another cup in there and spray my clear. And the only thing I'll have to clean is this part. So it's pretty nice. This is a very good gun for small repairs like this. You're going to be using U-Pol Clear, which is 4-to-1, with the option of 10% reducer. So you go right here, 4-to-1 and 10%. And when the last thing's added, it'll be around 18 ounces, which should be right on the money. And what I'm going to do is my first coat will be not a tack coat, but it'll be in between a medium and a tack coat. and that's going to hold up the glamour coat, which comes next. And in production, you only do 2 coats, so 1 light coat and 1 wet coat.
I fought back the tears. I don't love you anymore. So hard to hear. How lucky am I that you said goodbye at 7.
Burn the clear from the bottom dog leg of the quarter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour out nearly all the clear coat, and then I'm going to put reducer in there. I don't have any clear etcher, but reducer will work fine. Basically, I poured almost all of it out. There's just a tiny bit of clear coat in there.